Okay, welcome back to the next part of this tutorial. We're going to put the panel molding in this time. What we want to do is kind of zoom in here and just take a look at what we got here. Alright, everything still looks good. I'm going to go down here to the molding box. I have this in a separate window down on my taskbar down here. And I'm going to go down to this panel molding. I like this one. This looks pretty good. This is an overlit panel molding. Double click. And then double click the face again to select just the outline. I'm going to Control C to copy. Then we'll go back to our model. Kind of orbit in here. Zoom. And hit Control V. That's going to bring it up. I'll go ahead and place it there. I'm going to right click on it, make component. This one's going to be panel molding. Panel molding 1. Create. Okay. Next we're going to take the move tool, grab this corner here and get the molding in position just like we would in real life. This notch sits over because it's an overlit panel molding. Okay. Alright. Key thing to look for is that it says when you're moving this around is that it says on face in group or on intersection, something of that nature. It'll usually tell you when it's there. Okay. The next thing is we're going to make what's called an external array. To do that, what we want to do is get this panel molding perfectly center in this panel to start. And so I'll drag this around. And you can see that there's no inference mark here to find center. And that's because in the previous video, if you remember, we hid this outer edge here. Plus this is a group. So it's not going to inference there because we hid that line. So what we need to do is just grab the pencil here and draw a new line right here. Then grab the move tool on that corner again and just inference it till it says midpoint. Simple enough. Now to create the external array, we actually need to tell Sketchup the spacing that we need. So in order to tell it the spacing we need, we want to move this over to the center of this panel, and that will give it the spacing that Sketchup needs for this to work. So what we need to do is grab the pencil again, go to the corner here, go to this corner, grab the move tool, and kind of orbit so we can see. Grab this point again, same point, and just follow it along the red all the way up until it says midpoint. Okay. So, and of course I forgot to hold down shift, so we'll hold shift from here. Oh. Actually, we'll just go back. There we go. Sometimes, yeah, I forget that you gotta remember to do that. Sometimes when we're orbiting around here, I forget stuff. Okay, so now that we got that, what we want to do now is count the spaces. We don't really want to type any keys, but we can orbit around, we can zoom, we can reorient, that's fine. But we don't want to push any keys because we're going to make that external array. We just told SketchUp the spacing we needed. So we want to count our openings. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we just type in 4x and hit enter, it's going to create that external array for us perfectly. All of these are perfectly centered. And next comes the fun part. We want to wrap our panel molding. I think all of us finish carpers agree that in SketchUp this is the coolest feature, is the push-pull tool. Or I mean the follow me tool. Push-pull tool is also cool. Those are probably both equally cool tools. Alright, so here we go. And we need to draw a line around for it to follow. The easiest way to do that is just inference a square when you're doing paneling. I find that to be the easiest. Just select the middle here and delete that out, leaving us with a line all the way around that face frame there. If we double click on that, or triple click rather, it selects it all. And I find this to be the easiest. If we hit follow me tool next, we just click on it. Simple as that. really fast. And look at that, because it was a component, it did every single panel for us. So cool. Alrighty. So as you can see, we got a little geometry here. Part of that is because I'm of the style that I'm in. The other thing, but that is probably more key, is that we need to soften and smooth the edges. So to do that, we'll just triple click it all the way until it selects it all like this. Right click, hit soften smooth edges. You want to do this on all your moldings, otherwise they just don't look right. And you can see that there's still a little bit of geometry there. That's due to this style. This is the architectural style. So we can fix that just by going up to Window, Styles. And why don't we select Default Style. And so you can see it already went away. Even Simple Style, or any one of these, Design Style even. That's kind of cool. You can see that it's all cleaned up. So it looks like the only thing else that's missing from this model so far is we just need to put a back on it. Typically a 1/4 inch ply or whatever. So all we do is just inference a square on the edges here. Push pull. 1/4 inch. Boom. And that gives us, some we can, field measurements. We can really, pull off any type of field measurements from this if we want. We got inch thick, so that can we can do a cap detail however we want. We can run our base. Remember when we added that 5.5 inch base? I could run a 5.5 inch base across here, and I just have perfect reveals. All of these reveals will be perfect. So that's kind of a cool way to do wainscoting. I'll stop here. You can draw in all the other moldings. You can resize this. You can add more panels. You can do whatever you like to it. But this is pretty much a fast and efficient way to do paneling. Another cool feature you could do with this is before we ran all the paneling, add that panel molding to a layer and toggle on and off layers of different panel moldings. That's a really cool way to do it as well. If your clientele wants to see different styles, you can have that all in this model on a layer. Toggle on raised panel, toggle on overlap panel, toggle on inset panel. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure that there's other ways to do this. This happens to be the way that I like to do it. I found this pretty efficient. Maybe making that component library that Todd has made some videos about. I think that would definitely speed up this process as well. I would definitely encourage that. I'm going to do that myself. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later.